welcome back. I hope you're doing great. So let's have 10 multiple choice questions from communication section today. Our first question is, when verbal and non-verbal messages are contradictory, it is said that most people believe in. So if you have a situation where the person who is speaking, who is delivering a message is contradicting the words he chooses, the verbal form of communication, and the expressions, the voice tone, the sound modulation, the gestures. So, through these non-verbal elements, he's delivering something else. So, most people in that scenario will believe in non-verbal messages, right? So that is how non-verbal message is equally important in communication, because it also conveys the message, it also conveys the idea, the emotion. So non-verbal message is the thing that most people believe if there's a contradiction between verbal and non-verbal messages. Moving on to the second question, choose the person who has the control over self, mode of communication, and method of delivery. So, a teacher is the one in a classroom who has the control over self, over himself, over herself, over the mode of communication he or her chooses, and the method of delivery he or she is using to deliver the lecture, the idea, the message. So teacher is the one who has the control in a classroom. He or she can really create the environment in the classroom. Select the advantage of feedback in the process of communication from the following. So feedback is very important in message communication. If you look at the communication process, it begins with sender who encodes the message and sends it through the media, and receiver decode the message when he receives it. So after receiving, he sends his feedback to the sender. So it really clarifies the communication. It is a link between it. It makes a one-way communication into a two-way communication. So you can have really an exchange of ideas between two people if there's a feedback. So it clarifies the communication. You can clarify something. If you have further question, you can ask them to the sender. So it clarifies the communication. Fourth question, the deliberate filtering of the message by the sender, where he may hear, see, or read only that part of the message which is valuable to him, are called. So we have various barriers in communication. We can have language barrier when you do not understand the language of the other person. You can have status barrier. You can have inattention barrier and many other barriers. But this one, which the question is about, that person who is sending the message is filtering out the information. He's only hearing, seeing, or reading that part of the message which is valuable to him. So he has his personal bias. So it's a perpetual barrier. He's only hearing that part which he think is important, which is important, which seem important to him. So that is a perpetual barrier. Moving on to fifth one, we have type of communication and characteristics. We have to match the list 1 with list 2. So first is interpersonal communication, A. So it matches with 4, option 4, because interpersonal communication is within oneself. Person is talking to himself. Person is seeking his own transcendental form, his own spiritual form. He is speaking to himself. So option 4 is for best matches with A. Then interpersonal, it is between people. It is between people when you are talking with some other. So it's interpersonal. Then you have group, that is a small organization. It can be you have people, more than 2 people, more than 3 people. That's a group communication. Then a mass communication, there's large number of unknown audience. There's a lot many people. You are addressing a gathering, you are delivering a speech. So that's the right answer for the question is option 4, where A matches with 4, B matches with 1, C matches with 2, and D matches with 3. So this one is not right. Question number 6, given below are two statements. Personality conflicts in a classroom situation are barrier to effective interaction. Yes, it can be a barrier to effective communication when you have personality conflicts. One is introvert, one is extrovert, one is outgoing personality. So you can have various different personalities, and if there's personality conflicts, then in that situation there can be barriers in effective interaction. So statement 1 is correct. Statement 2, impersonal communication is invariably considered the best solution in classroom environments. So no, this is not correct. It's false. Impersonal communication basically misses the emotional touch, misses the personal touch, misses the human element, the emotions, the feelings. So this cannot be the best solution in classroom environment. For a classroom, you need to get invested, you need to feel, you need to understand, you need to deliver, give the human touch in the communication. You cannot be a robot, right? You can easily learn from a robot if you don't want any. So you need a personal touch in communication when you're in a classroom environment. So option 2 is not correct, option 2 is false. So answer 3. Statement 2 is false, statement 1 is correct, option 3 is the right answer. Moving on to the seventh one, efficacy of written communication depends on. So a written communication, how can we make it effective? So if efficacy of written communication depends upon, if you look at the options, A, lengthy presentation, no, length cannot decide the effectiveness of a message. Complex sentence structure, again no, because if you have complex structure, that will be difficult to understand and there will be more than one interpretations of those sentences. Editing after writing can really enhance written communication because you can remove the errors, the any other message you can correct it, you can just supervise the message again, you can give it a like proofreading you do, or that is basically you edit it after writing, edit for the errors, edit for anything, right? Edit for improvements. So editing can enhance the efficacy of written communication. Brevity in sentences, that you are using concise words, you are using, so it is not vague, it can really enhance your effectiveness of written communication. If there's brevity in sentences, that the message is concise, you're not complicating it. Use of strong words, uh, better is use of effective words, that you're using effective words that best deliver your message. So you choose the word which is if most effective in delivering the message, that can really enhance the written communications efficacy. So option C, D and F, option 3 is the right answer, C, D and F, that is editing, brevity and effective use of words. Question number 8. Which of the following signifies non-verbal communication in an essential way? So we have non-verbal communication, that is you're not using any words while delivering the message. So when you are giving instructions written on a question paper, you are using words. So that is a verbal one. Learner attending an online class, so in an online class there can be presentation, there can be words, there can be lecture, so again you are using verbal words. The dress code followed by an individual is a non-verbal communication. If you are wearing casual dress, formal dress, that delivers a message, that delivers the idea, the message that what you are for, how serious you are, or maybe that delivers something, that communicates something about. So that helps create the environment of communication. So dress code is a non-verbal form of communication. Yoga instructor teaching yoga poses to pupils. So yoga, if you're performing yoga poses, that can be a non-verbal communication because you're communicating through gestures. But when he's teaching yoga poses, he may use words to make it understand to its pupils. So he may use words, so that cannot be a proper non-verbal communication. Only option 3 is the right answer, that is the dress code you follow. Dress code followed by an individual is a non-verbal communication. Which of the following is a stage of intrapersonal communication? So we have interpersonal communication among people and intrapersonal communication, that is within oneself. The person is communicating within oneself. So which of the following is a stage of interpersonal communication? Fatigue stage, it is related to social message. When you are not transmitting any information, you are not communicating any information, you are just saluting something, you're wishing something, good morning, good afternoon, or any social message. So it is not related to information. So this is that stage, and it is not part of interpersonal communication, because when you're communicating with others, you're wishing them, uh, you're you're greeting them. That is interpersonal communication. Intimate stage and personal stage, it is about proximity in non-verbal communication, and it is interpersonal again. Intimate stage, when you're in a close proximity with others, when you're communicating at a close proximity, or a personal stage. So these two are also part of interpersonal. Only fourth one, option 4, that is transcendental communication, is the intrapersonal communication. When you're speaking to yourself, you are looking for the ways how you can improve your behavior. You want to become something else, so you meditate, you talk to yourself, you analyze, you self analyze. So that is that stage. So transcendental communication is the one of the stage of interpersonal communication. And the last question, semantic barrier of communication is implied when. So semantic barriers is basically about the message, the meaning of the message. When receiver doesn't understand the meaning of the message, it is semantic barrier, right? There's mistakes, you are not understanding the meaning, that is semantic barrier. Receiver's attention is diverted, it is inattention. Message transmitted by the source is unclear, or signal is lost. So these are related to uh, mode barrier and other barriers, physical barriers. The receiver does not understand the meaning of the message, it is semantic barrier, right? The message is designed as such that it is difficult to interpret, that its meaning is not clear, the receiver is not able to understand the meaning, then it is called a semantic barrier of communication. So that's it, the 10 questions from communication section. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something. Thank you, have a great day.